At my brother's housewarming party, I gave him a $500 gift card and helped him move. When I asked, "What time is the family dinner tomorrow?" he rolled his eyes and tossed, "You're just the help, the real family is invited." The room exploded with laughter. I swallowed my resentment. But what I did next guaranteed that this house wouldn't be his for long. Yesterday, he sent me 12 messages. "Pick up the phone. You've ruined everything." Honestly, I never thought I'd be that guy who vents on the internet, but here we are. I guess I just need a place to get this out of my head because it's been playing on a loop, and the more I think about it, the angrier I get. If you've ever had a family member treat you like you're nothing and everyone just laughs it off, you'll understand. This is about my brother, Kevin. And to be fair, this isn't the first time he's pulled something like this. But this time, it was different. It hit differently. It all started with the invite. Or rather, how I got it. It wasn't even from Kevin. It was from my mom. Just a forwarded message, "Hey, everyone. Come celebrate the new house," with an address and a time. No personal message, no, "Hey, Liam, it would be great to have you there," nothing. Just a generic group text. Honestly, I should have taken that as a sign. But I thought maybe he just forgot. Maybe he's busy. Maybe he didn't want to bother everyone with individual messages. But deep down, I knew better. See, Kevin and I are close in age, but not close in any other way. He's always been the fun one, the one who's loud, the one who everyone seems to like because he's charming and funny. And I've always been, well, the one who helps. The one who fixes things. The one who carries the heavy stuff. We showed up early, me and my girlfriend, Sarah. I figured, I'd be a good brother and help out. The second we walked in, though, I knew what kind of day it was going to be. The place was chaos, boxes scattered everywhere, a half-assembled grill sitting out back, and Kevin in the kitchen, blasting music on a cheap Bluetooth speaker. "Oh, hey, the front door's sticking again. Can you fix it?" That was the first thing he said to me. No, "Hey, thanks for coming early," or "Good to see you." Just an immediate request for a favor. I forced a smile. "Sure, I got it." And that was just the start. Sarah and I spent the next hour lugging folding chairs out of the shed, setting up tables, trying to figure out where the trash bags were supposed to go. Kevin? He was too busy showing off for his girlfriend, Hannah, and her friends. They kept glancing at us like we were just the help. At one point, one of them actually said to Sarah, "You're a lifesaver. We'd be lost without you." But not in a way that felt genuine, more like she just wanted things done. People started arriving, my mom, Aunt Linda, Cousin Nick, Uncle James, and a bunch of Hannah's friends. And suddenly, Kevin was all about being the perfect host. But only when it made him look good. Every time someone needed something, he'd just call out, "Liam, can you grab that?" Or, "Liam, the grill's out of propane. Can you fix it?" I tried to shake it off. Maybe he was just stressed. But the way he snapped his fingers at me, literally snapped his fingers, was like a slap in the face. I saw my mom watching, and for a second I thought she was going to say something. But she just turned away, laughing with Aunt Linda. By the time we got to the gift opening part of the night, I was already exhausted. I had brought a card with $500 in it. Yeah, maybe too much, but I figured, new place, big step, and all that. Kevin barely glanced at it. "Oh, cool. Thanks," he mumbled, tossing it onto a pile of other gifts without even looking at Sarah or me. I felt a pit in my stomach, but I swallowed it. I wasn't going to make a scene. Not in front of everyone. But then they started talking about brunch the next morning. "So, what time's brunch?" I asked, trying to at least be part of the conversation. Kevin didn't even look at me. Just rolled his eyes. "Nah, bro. That's just for family. You're basically just the help. Only real family gets invited." He wasn't joking. He was dead serious. The room went quiet for a second, then a few of Hannah's friends giggled. Even my cousin Nick chuckled. Sarah's hand gripped mine so tight I thought she was going to break my fingers. My mom gave Kevin a week, "That's not funny, Kevin," but he just waved her off, already talking to Hannah about something else. I sat there, staring at the floor, trying to keep my face neutral. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. Eventually, I just stood up and walked out onto the deck. I needed air. I needed to breathe. Nick followed me out. "Hey man, don't take it so seriously. Kevin's just messing around." "Yeah? Well, I'm not in the mood for it," I muttered, leaning against the railing. He shrugged and went back inside, and I heard the sliding door slam shut. When I finally went back in, Sarah had already grabbed our things. She was waiting by the door, her face tight with anger. We walked out, and as I was hauling the last of our stuff to the car, Kevin called after me. "Thanks for all the hard work, Liam. We'll let you know if we need anything else." Hannah laughed. Sarah didn't even look back. She just pushed past one of Hannah's friends, muttering something under her breath. The drive home was quiet at first. Then Sarah let it all out. He's always been like this. Always. And no one calls him out. Your mom just lets it happen. Your family just laughs it off like it's normal to treat you like trash. I know, I whispered. I know. But I was done. I didn't know what I was going to do yet, but I knew one thing for sure: I wasn't going to keep letting this happen. Not anymore. I didn't sleep that night. Not really. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Kevin's smug face, heard his voice calling me the help. It wasn't even the first time he'd treated me like a servant. It was just the first time he'd done it so openly, right in front of everyone. Sarah wasn't sleeping either. She kept tossing and turning, muttering under her breath. Finally, around 3 a.m., she just sat up. Liam, you can't keep letting him treat you like this. He's not going to stop unless you do something. I stared at the ceiling, feeling the weight of it all. She was right. Kevin had always been like this, the golden boy who could do no wrong. Our parents let him get away with everything. He was the loud, funny one, the one everyone liked because he was charming, until you actually had to deal with him. But what was I supposed to do? Confront him? I'd done that before, and he always laughed it off, turned it into a joke, or worse, made me feel like I was the one being too sensitive. I don't even know what to do, I whispered. Stop being his doormat, Sarah shot back, fiercer than I'd ever seen her. You are not his servant, and if your family can't see how toxic he is, then that's on them. But you don't have to keep playing his game. Her words stuck with me. I knew she was right, but I still felt stuck. So I did the only thing I could think of. I called Uncle James the next morning. Uncle James was technically the owner of the cabin where Kevin was living. Our family liked to act like it was Kevin's place, but that was just because he was staying there, and Kevin loved pretending he was the man of the house. But the reality was, Uncle James was just letting him live there as a sort of trial run. If Kevin could prove he was responsible, then maybe James would officially sign it over to him. I didn't want to sound like I was tattling, but I was done being the quiet one who just took everything. I kept it casual at first. Hey, Uncle James, just checking in. Did you get home okay after the party? Sure did, Liam, he said, his voice warm as always. Good to hear from you. That party was something else. Yeah, I chuckled, trying to keep my tone light. It was definitely something, but, there was a bit of a mess left behind. I thought you should know. Silence on the other end for a second. What do you mean? I told him everything. The way Kevin had treated me, the mess he and his friends had left behind, the broken chair on the dock, the beer cans floating in the lake. I didn't exaggerate. I didn't make anything up. I just told the truth. James sighed. That sounds like Kevin, all right. I was hoping he'd grown out of that. I just thought, if you're still deciding what to do with the place, you might want to see it for yourself, I said. I appreciate you telling me, Liam. I'll take care of it. I hung up, feeling a mix of relief and guilt. I wasn't trying to get Kevin kicked out, but I was tired of being walked on. I was tired of being the one who always had to be understanding while he got away with everything. The next person I reached out to was Hannah's brother, Josh. We weren't exactly close, but we'd met a few times, and I knew enough about him to know that he didn't particularly like Kevin. So I sent him a quick message. Hey, just a heads up. You might want to double-check what Kevin's been saying about owning the cabin. Not everything he's been telling your family is true. I didn't say anything else. Just planted the seed. I wasn't trying to be vindictive, but I wasn't going to stand by and watch him lie to everyone while treating me like garbage. Sarah saw what I was doing and gave me a hesitant smile. Are you sure about this? I'm done being the doormat, I told her. If he wants to treat me like the help, then let's see how he does without it. Over the next few days, I barely touched the family group chat. I'd see the notifications popping up, my mom sharing memes, Aunt Linda sending another chain message about family unity. Nothing about the party, nothing about what had happened. Just pretending everything was fine. Until one morning, I woke up to a call from Uncle James. Liam, I stopped by the cabin, he began, and I could already hear the tension in his voice. It's worse than you said. Garbage everywhere. Broken glass on the porch. Grill left out in the rain. I don't know what he's thinking. I'm sorry, Uncle James. I wasn't trying to start trouble. You didn't. He did. I'll take care of it. I hung up, a strange sense of satisfaction washing over me. I wasn't being cruel. I wasn't lying. I was just done being the quiet one who let Kevin get away with everything. But then the messages started. Kevin blowing up my phone. What did you tell James? You're trying to ruin me. I ignored him. Then Mom texted. Liam, please don't make this a big deal. You know how your brother is. He just wants to impress people. Let's just keep the peace. Keep the peace. Always keep the peace. That was the family motto when it came to Kevin. Keep the peace, even if it means letting him walk all over me. I didn't respond to her either. But then Josh replied, thanks for the heads up. We're having a family talk with Kevin. I can't believe he's been lying to everyone. I showed Sarah the message and she just shook her head. He did this to himself. You're just done being his scapegoat. Exactly. Kevin kept texting, calling, switching between begging me to fix this and accusing me of being jealous and vindictive. I left him on read. I wasn't his scapegoat. I wasn't his punching bag. And I definitely wasn't the help. If Kevin wanted to treat me like an outsider, then that's exactly what I'd be. But this time I wouldn't be a quiet one. This time I was done. And something told me this was just the beginning. I thought it would end there, that I'd spoken up, told the truth, and maybe things would finally change. But I had no idea how fast it would all spiral. Uncle James didn't waste any time. The very next day he texted me again, talk to Kevin. He's in denial. Said you're just trying to make him look bad. Of course he would. That was always his move. Whenever he got caught in a lie, it was never his fault. It was always someone else trying to ruin his life. I should have seen it coming. But it didn't stop there. Hannah's brother, Josh, messaged me again. Dude, thanks for the warning. Our parents are furious. Kevin's been telling them he owns the cabin and they were planning a whole family trip there. I almost laughed. Kevin was so desperate to look like he had everything together, he was lying to his girlfriend's family, pretending he was this responsible, successful guy. And they bought it. Until now. I was sitting on the couch with Sarah when my phone buzzed again. It was my mom. Liam, why are you causing so much trouble? Kevin is under a lot of pressure. Please, just apologize and smooth things over. Smooth things over? I read the text aloud, my voice tinged with disbelief. Are you kidding me? I'm the one who's been treated like dirt for years, but I'm supposed to apologize. Typical, Sarah muttered, not even looking up from her laptop. Your family's great at protecting Kevin from consequences. And she was right. They always had been. But for once, I wasn't going to play along. I ignored my mom's message. I ignored the new texts from Kevin, which were a mix of angry accusations and desperate pleas. You're ruining my life, followed by, come on, man, just tell James you were wrong. I didn't respond. 2 days later, Uncle James called me again. Liam, I'm done. I gave Kevin one last chance to clean up his act, and he hasn't done a thing. The place is worse than ever. He's throwing parties, trashing the cabin, and pretending like nothing's wrong. I could hear the frustration in his voice. James was a good guy, the kind who gave people too many chances. But even he had his limits. I'm kicking him out, he continued. I'm going there tomorrow morning and I'm telling him to pack up. If he doesn't leave, I'm calling the cops. I almost couldn't believe it. This was actually happening. For the first time ever, Kevin was facing real consequences for his actions. And I wasn't even the one doing it, he did it to himself. But of course, Kevin didn't see it that way. He showed up at my apartment that night, banging on the door like he was trying to break it down. Sarah and I exchanged a look. You want me to call the cops? She whispered. No, let me talk to him. I opened the door just enough to step outside, blocking him from barging in. He looked wild, his hair was a mess, his eyes were red, and there was this manic desperation in his voice. You did this, he shouted, jabbing a finger in my face. You told James all that crap. You told Josh's family I'm a liar. You're trying to destroy me. I told the truth, Kevin, I said, keeping my voice steady. You're the one who lied. You're the one who trashed the cabin. You did this to yourself. Liam, please, he switched tactics, his voice dropping to a pleading tone. Come on, we're brothers. You can't let them kick me out. I have nowhere else to go. I'm not the one kicking you out, Kevin. You did that. You made those choices. I tried to step back inside, but he grabbed my arm. Please. I'll fix it, I swear. I'll clean the place up, I'll apologize. Just talk to James. Tell him you were exaggerating. I pulled my arm free. No. I'm done lying for you. I'm done pretending you're some great guy when you treat me like garbage. His face twisted with anger again. You think you're so much better than me, don't you? Always trying to be the hero. You're just a jealous loser who can't stand that I have something you don't. Kevin, get out, Sarah's voice cut through the chaos. She was standing in the doorway now, her expression ice cold. Or I'm calling the cops. For a second, I thought he might try to shove past me. But then he backed off, his hands shaking. You're going to regret this, Liam. You're going to regret everything. I didn't say another word. I just stepped inside and closed the door, locking it. Sarah came over and wrapped her arms around me. Are you okay? I let out a shaky breath. Yeah, I think I am. But I wasn't prepared for how fast things would escalate. The next morning, I got a message from Hannah's brother again. Kevin's in deep trouble. Our parents are furious. Hannah broke up with him. My phone kept buzzing. Texts from Kevin alternating between begging and threatening. You ruined my life, you snake. Please, just talk to James. I'm going to make sure everyone knows you're a liar. I blocked him. Then my mom called. Liam, I just talked to Kevin. He says you're trying to get him kicked out. How could you do this to your own brother? I told the truth, Mom. Kevin's been lying to everyone and trashing James's place. He's your brother, she cried. You should have protected him. I spent my whole life protecting him. I'm done. She hung up and I just stood there, staring at the phone, a strange numbness settling over me. I wasn't sad. I wasn't even angry. I was just done. Later that afternoon, Uncle James called. I went to the cabin. Kevin's gone. Packed his stuff and left without a word. Are you okay? I asked. I will be. Honestly, it's a relief. But I'm sorry you had to be the one to deal with this. I'm not. Not anymore. For the first time in years, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. Kevin's chaos was his own. His lies were his own. And I wasn't part of it anymore. Sarah hugged me tight. You did the right thing. I know, I whispered, finally believing it. But I couldn't help but wonder, was this really over? Or was Kevin just getting started? I thought it was over. I thought Kevin had finally hit rock bottom and maybe, just maybe, he'd start figuring his life out. But I underestimated how far he was willing to go. The first sign was a text from my mom. Liam, please? He's your brother. Can't you just talk to him? I didn't respond. I'd made my choice and I wasn't going to get sucked back in. But the next day, it got worse. Kevin started showing up at family events, the ones I wasn't even invited to, and playing the victim. According to him, I was a backstabbing liar who tried to ruin his life. He told everyone that I'd manipulated Uncle James, that I'd lied about the mess at the cabin, and that I was just jealous because I didn't have a place of my own. I heard all this secondhand from Aunt Linda, who called me in a panic. Liam, honey, what is going on? Your brother is saying all these horrible things about you. I told the truth, Aunt Linda. I'm done covering for him. But family is family, she insisted, like that was supposed to mean something. Not when they treat you like garbage, I replied, my voice steady. Uncle James called me later that week. Liam, don't worry about what Kevin's saying. I know the truth. But it wasn't just about me. Kevin's lies had started catching up to him everywhere. Hannah's parents had canceled their family trip and I heard she wasn't even speaking to him. His friends started backing away when they realized he'd been lying to them too. Even his job, which he'd always bragged about, turned out to be a part-time gig he was barely holding onto. But instead of trying to fix his life, he just doubled down. He texted me, switching between begging and threatening. You did this to me. You ruined my life. Then, please, just talk to Uncle James for me. I'll fix everything, I promise. And finally, you're going to regret this. I'll make sure everyone knows what a snake you are. I ignored every message. But Kevin wasn't done. One night, around 11 p.m., I was in the kitchen with Sarah, making tea, when there was a loud banging on the door. Not a knock banging, like someone was trying to break it down. Sarah's eyes widened and I felt a cold knot tighten in my stomach. Stay here, I whispered, stepping toward the door. When I looked through the peephole, I wasn't even surprised. Kevin was there, his face twisted in a mix of anger and desperation. His hair was a mess, his eyes were wild, and he looked like he hadn't slept in days. Liam, open the door, he shouted, his voice muffled but frantic. I didn't move. Go home, Kevin. You don't get to just do this to me, he screamed, slamming his fist against the door. You think you're so much better than me? You're nothing. Nothing. I didn't respond. I just stood there, letting him rage. I know you're there. I can see your shadow. Open the door, you coward. I felt Sarah's hand on my shoulder and I could hear the fear in her voice. Liam, just call the police. But I didn't. Instead, I pulled out my phone and started recording. Kevin's voice was getting louder, his insults turning into desperate pleas. Please, man, please? I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Just talk to Uncle James for me. Just tell him I'll fix everything. I didn't move. Eventually, his voice broke and he started sobbing. He slid down against the door, his head thumping against it. I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't have anyone. Please. I didn't open the door. I couldn't. After a few minutes, the sobs stopped. I heard him get up, muttering something to himself, and then his footsteps shuffled away. I waited another minute, then peeked through the peephole. He was gone. Sarah wrapped her arms around me and I finally let myself breathe. Are you okay? She whispered. I think so, I muttered. But I didn't feel okay. I felt empty. The next morning, I got a call from Uncle James. Kevin showed up here last night, begging me to let him back in. I told him no. Is he okay? I asked, not even sure why I still cared. He's sleeping in his car in front of Aunt Linda's house. But I won't take him back. Not after everything he's done. Did he say anything about me? James paused. Just the same nonsense, that you lied, that you're trying to ruin his life. But I know better, Liam. Everyone who actually knows you knows better. But did they? I wondered. Kevin had always been so good at twisting things, at making himself the victim. And now, even though I'd finally stood up for myself, I felt like the villain. But as the days passed, something strange happened. The family group chat, which had always been a place for Kevin to be the center of attention, grew quiet. No more memes from Mom. No more updates from Aunt Linda. Even the constant noise from my cousins died down. I wasn't sure if it was because they were taking Kevin's side or because they were finally seeing the truth. But I didn't care. For the first time in years, I felt free. One night, Sarah and I were walking around the lake near our place and she slipped her hand into mine. You did the right thing, you know. Did I? I sighed. Yes. And I'm proud of you. I squeezed her hand. I never thought it would end like this. It's not over for him, she said, her voice soft. But it is for you. She was right. I'd done what I needed to do. I'd stopped letting Kevin walk all over me. I'd told the truth even when it was hard. I'd chosen my own peace over his chaos. And maybe one day he'd figure himself out. Maybe he'd learn. Or maybe he wouldn't. But that wasn't my problem anymore. We stood by the water watching the moonlight ripple across the surface, and for the first time in a long time, I felt calm. Not happy, not triumphant, just calm. I didn't need to win. I didn't need revenge. I just needed to be free. And now I was.